Hey, this is the street genius. You're hearing a lot about global power shifts lately, but let me tell you something real. While everyone's watching the West fight among itself, something much bigger is happening behind the scenes. The BRICS Summit of 2025 wasn't just another international meeting. It was the clearest signal yet that the global South, the so-called developing world, is done playing by Western rules. Let's talk facts. BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa by now controls over 33% of the world's GDP when adjusted for purchasing power. And after the latest summit, they're expanding fast. They're adding countries like Egypt, Iran, Ethiopia, and Argentina. Why? Because they're done watching the IMF and World Bank dictate terms. They want their own system, their own rules, their own financial backbone. And here's where it gets serious. They're launching their own cross-border payment system, backed by local currencies, not the dollar. No SWIFT, no Visa, no Wall Street middleman. It's not just about trade, it's about independence. Financial, technological, and political independence from the West. But wait, it gets deeper. At this year's summit, they didn't just talk about money. They talked about AI governance, climate funding, and even space cooperation. They're building alliances in science, defense, agriculture, you name it. And they're doing it without asking for Washington's permission. Now you might ask, why does this matter to me? Because this isn't some faraway diplomatic dinner party. This is a power shift that will change your prices, your energy, your job market, even your digital life. If BRICS creates a new trade route that cuts out Western ports, that means less global reliance on US infrastructure. If they trade in yuan or rupees, that means less demand for dollars. And if they build global cloud systems or AI networks, they're no longer playing on American servers. This is a new internet, a new market, a new map. Let's be honest. The US and Europe dominated the post-Guutafu world, but that system, it's cracking. What BRICS is building isn't perfect. Russia's war, China's censorship, India's internal divisions, it's messy, but it's powerful, and it's not waiting for the West to approve. Here's a quote from the summit's final statement. We support a multipolar world where no single country dominates. That's a direct shot at Washington. At NATO, at the G7, and guess what? Many countries are clapping, because they're tired of lectures from Western capitals while struggling with Western debt. Let's talk numbers. Over 40 countries have applied for BRICS membership. BRICS Development Bank has lent over $30 billion in local currency. China and Brazil recently completed a $2.5 billion energy deal without touching the dollar. That's not a trend, that's a transformation. So what happens now? If you're in the West, this is your wake-up call. You're not the only power in the room anymore. BRICS isn't just an acronym, it's a new world order being drafted in real time. And if you're in the global South, you might be watching history flip for the first time in a century. Here's the scary part. The West still thinks it's 1999, but the world is already in 2025, and BRICS is driving the bus. The US can keep printing dollars. Europe can keep holding summits, but if they don't adapt, if they don't listen, they're going to wake up in a world where the rules are no longer theirs. This isn't about war. This is about who sets the standard for trade, tech, truth. And right now, BRICS is setting their own, so next time someone tells you the world is stable, smile and remind them the new players aren't asking to join the old game. They're building a new one from scratch. This was the Street Genius. See you in the next one.